Hi, I'm Mary. I'm a retired teacher in Forest Grove, Oregon, and I teach phonics. In 2012, I put 18 videos on YouTube to teach the proper letter formation and all these phonograms. 71 phonograms that were discovered by Dr. Orton about 100 years ago. And for more information on that, you can contact rigsinst.org. So let's start our lesson today. You should have two notebooks, a notebook on vocabulary and a notebook on notes and practice. So open up your notebook, your vocabulary notebook, and we are going to start a new list. So let's go to the top of your next page and find a felt pen that works. List 2. Okay, our first word is radio. Turn on the radio. Radio. How many sound parts? 3. This is our first 3-syllable word. Ray. What phonogram says ray? A, and that is the long sound of that vowel, so we're going to underline it. Ray. D, I, E. That's the third sound of I. I, E. Radio, and that is the long sound of that phonogram. Radio. Next word is gym. Let's go to the gym. How many sound parts? 1. J is the first sound. J. And we're going to put 2 there because it's gym, not gym. The next sound is I, and it's actually the short sound of this phonogram, so we're not going to mark it. You've seen that phonogram quite a few times. Gym. Let's go to the gym. Next one, baby. Baby. How many sound parts? 2. First sound you hear is B. B. A. B. E. Third sound of that phonogram. Baby. We have to underline that vowel because it's the long sound of a, aw. Baby. Put the baby down. Next one is music. Music. How many sound parts? Music. 2. This is the first sound you hear. You. You, So this is actually, we'll underline that because it's a long sound of the phonogram you, Music. We've learned 2 phonograms that make that sound. It's not the last one, it's the first one. Music. First sound of that phonogram, and second sound of that phonogram. Please play me some music. Next word, truly. Truly. How How many sound parts? 2. Truly. First sound you hear, t, oo, o, e. Just like in baby, truly. Truly. We're going to put a 3 above that. U, oo, Okay, truly. Good job. Next word is bush. Bush. Please plant the bush. How many sound parts? 1. And what's the first sound you hear? B. It's only one phonogram. B, sh. This is a 2-letter phonogram, so we're going to underline it. And it's actually the 4th sound of this phonogram, so we're going to write a little 4 there. U, oo, bush. Good. Next word. Today. Today. How many sound parts? Today. First sound you hear is t. T. Oo, d, a. This is a 2-letter phonogram used at the end of a word. Today, this is actually the 3rd sound of that phonogram. O, oo. Today. Next word is old. Old. That story is old. How many sound parts? Old. What's the first sound you hear? O. It's the long sound of that phonogram. O, only sound of that phonogram. And D, the only sound of that phonogram. Old. Next one is off. 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 Please get off the chair. Off. How many sound parts? 1. Ah. We often double L, F, and S following a single vowel at the end of a 1-syllable word. Off. Next word, of. Of. This one's tricky and very common. How many sound parts? Of. 1. Of. This first letter doesn't sound like an O, it sounds like a. That's a schwa. I don't have the definition of schwa here, but we will run across it again. It's when one vowel sounds like another. And this is not pronounced f, it's pronounced v. Of. There are 3 of us. So we're going to put 2 little lines under that F, under that f, so that we'll remember that it's spelled differently than it sounds. Next one, out. Please put the cat out. Out. How many sound parts? And what's the first sound you hear? Ow. This one is spelled, it's a 2-letter phonogram, and that's the first sound of that phonogram. ow, o, oo, and it ends with the sound t, the only sound of that phonogram, so we don't need to mark it. Next one. B, B, please be careful. B. How many sound parts? B. 1. What's the first sound you hear? B, E, B. This is the only phonogram that makes that sound. B. We're underlining that because it's the second sound of that phonogram. It's the long sound of that vowel. Next one is, oh, we're going to actually put another one right here that sounds the same but spelled differently. And this is the one that you don't want to step on because you'll get stung. B. We underline 2-letter E, always says E. B. Bzz. Next one is nut. My squirrel wants a nut. Nut. How many sound parts? Good. What's the first sound? N, first sound of that vowel. T. Nut. No markings. Next one. This. Look where my tongue is. It's under my teeth. This. This. This is a 2-letter phonogram. We're not marking, we're going to mark it because it's a 2-letter phonogram, but we don't have to put a letter on it because, yes we do, sorry. The phonogram is th. 2 sounds. Th. In one, you're pushing more air out under your teeth. So we're going to put a 2 there. I. First sound of that phonogram. S, no markings because that's the first sound of that phonogram. This. This is very late. Next one is all. All. See how long, how my jaw drops down for that sound? One sound part to this word, and the first sound you hear is ah, oh. Sorry, that's supposed to be two lines. I'll do it down here. All. First sound of that phonogram, no markings. And we often double L, S, and F at the end of a 1-syllable word with a short vowel. We actually have to put 3 above this because it's A-A-aw. All the boys. Next one. Your. Y, I-E, no markings. Your. 1 sound part, your book is brown. Your, and we're going to underline this phonogram and put 2. And the second word, very similar, yours. Yours. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. It's you. Ow, oh, ooh. This is put a 3 over that phonogram, the third sound of that phonogram. Okay, so what I want you to do tonight, write these new words 5 times slowly and make oral sentences. Don't write them down. Just make oral sentences with these new words. And I'll see you next time for lesson 4. Thanks.